Previously on the Revenge Diaries. Proud, the mask has finally slipped, and the Harrington matriarch is scrambling. In our last episode, the miracle pregnancy that was supposed to replace my daughter Lily was exposed as a total fraud. Confident, we discovered that Jason had a vasectomy years ago, meaning the baby Margaret was celebrating was a lie from the start. But the betrayal went deeper. We caught Margaret on a secret recording, admitting she viewed our daughter as an interruption to the family legacy. We watched as she tried to bribe Jennifer into stealing our home, offering up my house as if it were hers to give. The turning point. We set the ultimate trap. At a reconciliation dinner, Margaret thought she was winning. We turned on the big screen and served her the truth. Medical records, recorded confessions, and a legal no-contact order that stripped her of her status and her pride. Margaret is out. The locks are changed, and Lily's room is restored. But as we were clearing out the last of the shadows, we found it. Tucked away in the attic, under a floorboard Margaret never touched, is a heavy steel safe with Lily's name engraved on the front. The grandmother is gone, but the secrets she was trying to bury are just beginning to come to light. The dust in the attic settled as Thomas and I stared at the small, heavy safe we'd intercepted from the movers. Margaret had been desperate to get this out of the house. When we flipped it over, my breath hitched. Engraved in the metal was for Lily's 18th. My daughter wasn't even 7 when she passed, but it seemed someone had been planning for a future Margaret tried to claim didn't exist. We tried every birthday, every anniversary, but the safe wouldn't budge. Finally, Thomas looked at the purple card Lily had made for Margaret, the one with the shaky handwriting and the layers of glitter. He tried the date Lily had finished it. Click. The door creaked open. Inside wasn't just money or jewelry. It was a stack of letters and a legal envelope that turned Margaret's world upside down. It turns out my late grandmother, the one who left me the house, hadn't trusted Margaret either. The safe contained a hidden trust fund and a series of letters of intent signed by my grandmother and Lily's biological father. They had documented years of Margaret's subtle jabs and her attempts to pressure my grandmother into changing her will to favor Jason. That, the biggest reveal. A secret life insurance policy Lily's biological father had set up, with me as the trustee and Margaret as the one who had been trying to forge my signature to access it for Jason's debts. Margaret wasn't just trying to erase Lily's memory, she was trying to steal her future to pay for Jason's mistakes, and we just found the proof that could put her behind bars. As the safe door creaked open, we expected old jewelry, or perhaps some cash. But as Thomas pulled out the thick legal envelope hidden beneath a stack of letters, his face went completely white. He didn't find money. He found a life insurance policy in my name with a signature that looked exactly like mine, except I had never signed it. My heart stopped. Margaret wasn't just trying to move Jennifer in. She had been committing identity theft against me for years to fund Jason's lifestyle. And the worst part? There was one more document at the bottom of the safe, one that proved Margaret knew exactly what happened the night Lily got sick, and she had been hiding the truth from us since the funeral. Among the legal documents was a small, hand-drawn envelope. Lily had tucked a note inside months ago, almost like she knew she wouldn't be here to see it opened. It read, "Mommy, don't be sad. Make the house pretty for the next baby." Even in her final days, Lily was thinking about the big cousin she would have been. She wasn't talking about Jason's miracle lie. She was talking about the family she hoped we'd keep building. We realized then that keeping the room as a shrine wasn't what Lily wanted. But Margaret's way of clearing it out was an act of war, not love. Thomas called the police and handed over the forged documents found in the safe. Margaret's expensive new suit was about to be traded for an orange jumpsuit. She had spent years trying to push Lily to the side of the family photos, but now she was the one being cropped out of the family forever. As for the house, it's finally quiet. The purple princess nonsense stayed exactly where it was until we were ready to move. Jennifer moved into the guest suite, and she's become the sister I never had, helping us heal while she prepares for a baby that will actually be loved for who they are, not what name they carry. The last thing we did was mail a copy of Lily's purple glitter card to Margaret's lawyer. On the back, Thomas wrote, "She loved you. Too bad you weren't worth it." We stood there, clutching Lily's final wish to make the house pretty, while the blue and red lights of the police cruisers began to pulse against the purple walls of the nursery. We handed the detectives the forged documents, the secret ledgers, and the recording of Margaret's own voice. As they led a screaming, pearl-clad Margaret toward the patrol car in handcuffs, she looked back at me with a look of pure venom and hissed, "You think you've won? You have no idea what Jason is about to do." I watched the car pull away, but as I turned back to the house, I saw a shadow moving in the upstairs window, a window to a room that should have been empty. Looking back at the security footage, I don't see a mausoleum anymore. I see a home that stood its ground. Margaret thought she could walk in and dismantle a life while I was at a graveside. But all she did was prove that blood doesn't make a family, loyalty does. Thomas and I still sit in Lily's room sometimes, surrounded by the smell of strawberry shampoo and the glow of the butterfly mobile. Jason is currently facing fraud charges alongside his mother, and Jennifer is officially a part of our chosen family. The safe is empty now, but our hearts are finally full. We kept our promise to Lily. Her room remained a sacred space until it was ready to be a place of joy again. Margaret wanted a fresh start, and she got one, starting from scratch with nothing but her pearls and her regrets. Margaret is behind bars, Jason is awaiting trial, and the house is finally filled with the peace Lily always deserved. We kept our promise. The room stayed a sanctuary until it was ready to be a place of joy again. But as I sat down to write the final entry in these diaries, I realized something. The safe we found in the attic had a double bottom, and tucked inside that hidden compartment was a photograph of a woman I've never seen before, standing in front of this very house 30 years ago, with a younger Margaret looking terrified in the background. Margaret's secrets didn't start with Lily, they started decades ago, but that is a story for the next diary. That concludes the story of the Purple Butterfly Room. If you've ever dealt with a monster-in-law or fought to protect your child's legacy, you know that the best revenge is living well and keeping the receipts. This is Revenge Diaries, signing off. Don't forget to subscribe for our next deep dive into a family secret that should have stayed buried. What would you have done with the safe? What do you think was in that photo? Subscribe and comment "secret" to be the first to know when the next chapter drops.